tragedy at a Colorado Springs LGBTQ plus club.
Just a mass casualty. 7 ambulances.
We do have multiple criticals.
A gunman kills 5 people and injures more than 2 dozen.
I was on the dance floor. I heard 4 to 5 shots ring out. It should have been me that was taken.
Tonight, we're remembering the victims.
Everybody knew him. Everybody loved him. And he loved everybody.
And as the community grieves, we're also honoring the heroes who stopped the gunman.
We will definitely get through this. We have this tragic stain, but it's not the end.
Tonight, a community in mourning, trying to grasp the horror we all woke up to. Their prayers for the 5 people killed and 25 others injured in a mass shooting at an LGBTQ plus club in Colorado Springs.
It's now been nearly 24 hours since this shooting, and tonight we are learning more about exactly what happened inside Club Q.
And we have team coverage tonight in Colorado Springs. Denver 7's Patrick Perez is getting reaction tonight from the community as they embrace each other through this tragedy.
But first, let's get over to Colette Bordelon, who has been out at the scene since early this morning. Colette, police say the suspect was in custody just minutes after they received the first call.
6 minutes after that first call, to be precise. And police also say that 2 people inside of Club Q, they were able to detain the suspect until they got here. And here outside of Club Q, which is just behind me, a little ways that way, a very large crime scene out here tonight. But that is a staple in this Colorado Springs community. Many tell me it feels like home. So trying to answer the question of where do we go from here, that feels impossible. The first call came in right before midnight.
We are working tirelessly to ensure that justice for the victims in this senseless and evil shooting is given.
A call Colorado Springs will never forget.
We were in there for like 25 minutes, just on the ground, scared for our lives.
Every citizen has the right to feel safe and secure in our city.
A gunman killed 5 people inside of Club Q and injured more than 2 dozen others.
At least 2 heroic people inside the club confronted and fought with the suspect and were able to stop the suspect from continuing to kill and harm others.
Their actions clearly saved lives.
Whether or not this was a hate crime is still under investigation.
Now we have this stain on our community. Again, how can we move on? How can anybody go into that space now and feel safe?
We are a strong community that has shown resilience in the face of hate and violence in the past, and we will do so again.
A strong community, there's no doubt about that. Police did identify the suspect today as 22-year-old Anderson Lee Aldrich. They didn't say how many shots were fired, that's still being investigated, but they did say he used a long rifle during the shooting.
None of us recognize the suspect. I've ever seen him in the building. I think this was a community of target for him, but not specific people.
So that was Matthew Hames you just heard from. He's the owner of Club Q. He says that they ran the suspect's name in their databases to try and find out if he ever used a credit card at the bar, and they found no record of his name at Club Q. So they do not believe he's ever been here. But Hames says this has been his biggest fear since what happened at the Pulse nightclub in Orlando in 2016. I'll be here tomorrow with any new developments in this Colorado Springs case. Live in Colorado Springs. Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
Colette, thank you. We are all still trying to process what happened out there. So far, only one of the 5 victims who was killed has been positively identified. ABC News has confirmed that person is Daniel Davis Aston. He was working as a bartender at the club last night when he was killed. Denver 7 is working to confirm the identities of the other 4 victims.
And we are also learning just how much Club Q meant to this community. For many LGBTQ plus people in Colorado Springs, it was an oasis. It was a place for them to feel welcome and to be themselves. It was a second home.
For a lot of people like myself, we don't have families, so LGBT people really need somewhere that is a safe space, and Club Q gave that to us in a party sense and a real life, because a lot of the performers and the people who work there make sure that they check up on you outside of the club, see what you're doing, see if your mental is okay.
You know, just look at that. Hearing things like that, it's quite clear that this club was a safe haven for a lot of people.
It definitely was. Let's bring in Denver 7's Patrick Perez with how the community is now mourning the lives lost. Patrick?
Yeah, Jacqueline, tonight we have watched groups of people showing up to this memorial right outside of the club to drop off, for example, flowers, candles, belongings, you name it. Right now we have still some people showing up here to pay their respects. We also watched as people pay their respects through prayer. To say that today has been an emotional day is an understatement, not just for the community here in Colorado Springs, not just for the people who knew the victims, but those of us connected by shared experiences. Dozens of candles burned Sunday night in Colorado Springs at a memorial outside the LGBTQ venue Club Q.
We left like just 5 minutes before, and like we didn't know anybody. We were just literally sitting there, people watching.
Justin Godwin and his friend Aaron Laney say they just moved here from California and visited Club Q Saturday night to see if it was the right fit for them.
We could just tell that this was going to be a community that we were going to be a part of.
They never imagined the venue they were going to call their new safe space would be the site of a mass shooting.
How do you walk in and see like the environment that we saw and want to shoot people?
At a prayer vigil earlier in the day for the victims of the shooting, tears fell as a minister shared the anger and pain so many of us are feeling.
People who tried to escape, but they did not. They got killed. Other people got killed just trying to run away. God, we know better than to ask why. And it certainly is too certain for us to say we forgive.
That prayer just hit so good. It was just, she said all the things that I'm feeling. Like, I'm angry, I'm upset, I'm heartbroken.
Courtney Berg and her wife Bird could not believe the news that the place they felt the safest in over the years could face such tragedy.
I've lived here 31 years. When they start releasing the people that passed, I know I'm gonna know them.
It's unclear if Club Q will ever be anyone's safe space again. For now, its patrons are focused on remembering those lost and hurt by senseless violence. And if you would like to pay your respects, but you can't drive down to the Springs, for example, tomorrow in Denver, there will be a candlelight vigil at Real Works Denver that is right next to the Tracks nightclub. That is at 7 o'clock. Jacqueline Bayan.
All right, thank you, Patrick. I know this has been very personal for you as well. This hits close to home.
Gay man covering the story today has been a really emotional day. I mean, I was having a lot of trouble holding back tears, especially at that prayer vigil that I mentioned in the story at St. Paul's United Methodist Church. I think the minister just kind of expressed in ways that I could not, just my anger today. It also takes me back to being a weekend morning anchor in Waco, Texas, and covering the Pulse nightclub shooting. And to my right, I just still to this day remember seeing moms screaming on TV, asking about their sons or daughters. So it's just been really emotional, and you know, we try to keep it together for our jobs, but today is one of those days where you just sometimes have to let the emotions go.
Patrick, I can't even imagine. I just want to say we love you, man. We're thinking about you, and I really appreciate you being vulnerable. I really appreciate you sharing how this has impacted you, and I can't wait for you to get back from this assignment so we can all embrace you, brother.
Thank you so much, Wyatt. It really means a lot. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, Patrick. Take care. Now, we're also getting reaction from President Biden tonight, along with politicians in Colorado.
In a statement, President Biden said in part, quote, places that are supposed to be safe spaces of acceptance and celebration should never be turned into places of terror and violence. Yet it happens far too often. We must drive out the inequities that contribute to violence against LGBTQI plus people. And the president also called again for an assault weapons ban.
Governor Polis says his heart breaks for the victim's family and friends and that he is shocked by the attack.
This was just a place of safety for people. It was a place where people could, in a conservative community, often get the acceptance that too many of them might not have had at home or in their other circles. And to see this occur is really just put us all in a state of shock here in Colorado and across the country.
And Republican Congressman Doug Lamborn, who represents Colorado Springs, says he is saddened to hear of the senseless loss of life and, quote, law enforcement and first responders are to be commended for their rapid response. All people should pray for the victims and their families. And this shooting really hits home for Colorado State Representative Leslie Herod. She's from Colorado Springs. She's also Colorado's first openly gay black woman elected to the state legislature. You tweeted earlier that this club where this happened is a place of refuge for so many, including myself. Tell me what this club meant to you.
Yeah, you know, like so many queer bars across the country, there are only a few places that LGBTQ people like myself can go just for a place of refuge and solace and community and connection. And to see this tragedy happen so close to home and hurt so many people, it breaks my heart.
Do you feel like people in this community are being targeted? Have you experienced that yourself?
Absolutely, they're being targeted. We're being targeted. I'm being targeted right now on Twitter with threats and hate, all because of my support of transgender youth and families, you know, all because of myself being outspoken in who I am as a proud LGBTQ African American person. We are absolutely targeted. These acts of violence are not, you know, we know where they come from, and it's because of all the hate that's spewed. Yes.
What do you think the next step is as a lawmaker when you see tragedies like this happen?
You have a situation where we have open access to firearms, open access to firearms, alongside of the divisive rhetoric. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? And when you have a dehumanization of people, right? Where folks think it's okay if I target an LGBTQ person, one less person in the community, one less person in our neighborhoods, one less transgender young person, that is wrong. That is wrong. But what do we expect to happen? Colorado should be leading the way on change, and we're not.
Some very, very powerful thoughts there. And after that interview, Leslie Herod went to the Triangle Denver, an LGBTQ plus bar in downtown, where dozens in that community held a moment of silence. Take a look.
We would all like to have everyone join in a moment of silence for those affected by this event.
The Triangle Denver has hired extra security as a precaution. Several security guards were apparent at the entrance, inside, and on the patio of the establishment. Triangle Denver says safety is their #1 priority as patrons at the bar tonight mourn the lives lost in Colorado Springs. Sean O'Grady, one of the owners of Triangle Denver, says the moment of silence paved the way for meaningful conversations about the tragedy in Colorado Springs.
People reflected a lot. You know, there were people here that had friends and acquaintances that were injured in Colorado Springs, and then it could have also been anywhere. So people were very serious and somber, but it was a way for our community to pay some respect and honor people that had to go through what they went through.
And there are resources for those dealing with this tragedy in the Colorado Springs area. A center has been set up at the Satellite Hotel on Lakewood Circle. GLAD and One Colorado will be there all week to provide counseling services and a safe space for anyone who needs support.
And we know that when tragedy hits Colorado like this, our community steps up. So if you want to help, this is the best way to do it. The Colorado Healing Fund. You can go to coloradogives.org, look for Colorado Healing Fund, and make sure you select the Club Q shooting on the drop-down menu. This fund was started in 2018 by a group of victims advocates to come up with a way to support communities after tragedy. GoFundMe has also been working to verify funds for victims and survivors. The largest right now is organized by the Good Judy Garage. This is an LGBTQ plus owned auto repair shop, and their fund to support the victims and families, it's already raised $150,000, more than that now, with one anonymous donor giving $50,000.
Our coverage of the Club Q shooting is just getting started. Up next, we're taking a deeper look at the suspect's prior history with law enforcement.
Once again, further violence strikes our community.
Plus, we're hearing from other LGBTQ plus communities affected by mass shootings, shocked it's happening all over again, this time in Colorado.